Today we are going to discuss the psychology of money. Where is your mindset? How is it affecting you psychologically? Is it doing something in a way to where you're continuously spending money and you're just spending and spending and spending, and you have an addiction towards shopping? You're an addicted shopper. Or you don't understand the psychology of money and how to properly apply it so that it works for you rather than against you. Welcome to Nova Society. In today's video, we're going to dive into The Psychology of Money, which is a great book. I highly recommend that you guys pick up the book. If you're interested in picking up the book, it is in the description below, so you can go ahead and click on that link and it'll take you directly to Amazon so that you can purchase the book if you haven't read it already. You can also get it on audible.com if you prefer. Right now, yes, we do need this money. We do need to go out and provide for ourselves and take action. I'm a man of action. The psychology of money.
Money. Some have it, some don't. Some have mastered it, but most are still chasing it. You may think of money as just numbers and spreadsheets and math, or an equation that needs to be solved. But the real financial decisions are made far away from calculators, around dinner tables with ego, pride, fear, and personal history. The true nature of money is the dance between the cold arithmetic of a spreadsheet and human nature. When it comes to money, we are complicated creatures, and financial success is not so much about how much you know, but how you behave. This video was inspired by Morgan Housel's amazing book, The Psychology of Money. Your financial DNA. You aren't crazy. We all come from different generations, with parents earning different incomes and holding different values, living in various parts of the world, born into different economic environments with varying incentives and varying opportunities. We all have very different experiences towards money. Take, for example, the stock market and inflation. People born in 1970 saw an almost tenfold increase in the S&P 500 during their teens and 20s, leading most to have a positive view of the stock market and a higher inclination to invest. People born in the 1950s, however, saw the stock market go nowhere in their teens and 20s, leading to a more negative view of the stock market and less inclination to invest. People born into the 1960s experienced significant inflation during their teens and 20s, leading to a higher awareness and a more negative view of inflation and its effects. People born in 1990 experienced relatively low inflation during their lifetime, leading to less concern and awareness of its effects. A person's experience with the stock market and inflation during their formative years greatly shapes their attitudes and behaviors towards investing and financial decision-making. People justify every financial decision they make based on the information they had at that moment and their mental model of the world, which has been passed on to them from their parents and is shaped by their unique life experiences.
In regards to the psychology of money, is really highlighting those financial decisions that you guys make, that we all have made, that I sometimes make when it comes to spending money, and how it often can be driven by our emotions, our ego, right? Our feelings, fear, greed, everything that, that makes us choose unwisely and gives us those bad results that when it comes to, our financial habits. And really what I seek and what I aim to do, not only in my life, but for others, is show them, along with myself, how we can build that mental model towards disciplining ourselves to be patient, and how to not lack the financial literacy that we have access to. We have an abundance of financial education at our fingertips, especially on the internet. We can easily learn how money works and how completely fake it all is, right? So we find ourselves living in this game of life to where we have to play it correctly, because each move, I enjoy chess. So when I play chess, each move is very important, because towards the end of the game, no matter how long it took for you to lose, if you do lose, at some point in the game, you made a mistake with one piece. And it's easy to, fall into the money trap, to where you see all the glitz and the glamour and the fabulous lifestyles that a lot of celebrities or YouTubers or influencers are living that type of lifestyle to where they have access to pretty much everything and anything they want. And for me, it's really about freedom. I enjoy my freedom, right? A lot of people enjoy their freedom too, but some people, they just rather have all the material, all the Bugattis and the cars and the homes and all the women and access to everything. Where for me, if I was given a choice in terms of the psychology of money to really discipline myself and have the mental model and the fortitude to strive towards, if I was given a choice, if God said, you got two choices. I'll give you everything you need, food, home, a decent car, transportation, and you can travel the world and do anything and everything you ever wanted. But you won't have all the material wealth like billionaires have. 2, I'll give you all the material wealth and everything that billionaires have, the yachts, the exclusivity, access to everything. You'll be richer beyond your wildest dreams. Which one would you choose? Well, most people would choose number 2, right? And maybe I didn't explain that correctly, but I think you guys understand where I'm going with this. So for me, I would choose 1 because 1 just grants me freedom, and that's all I really want. Because in this day and age, as fast as we're moving with rapid technology continuously growing year over year, especially in artificial intelligence and the many fields and subcategories that falls under, we're going to find ourselves out of the job, right? Or in a job that requires you to push a button, because I think we're moving so quickly into the future, you don't even need to really learn how to code. You don't even need coding, right? They say, oh, you better learn how to code and be a programmer and learn the language of coding. The code is coding itself, okay? It's coding itself. So learning how to code is basically old news at this fucking point. Like, you don't need to learn how to code anymore. All you need to know is what the code is doing, what the use case is for, the value it provides for other people, how to sell it, or how to apply it, or remain behind the scenes, whether it's managed or non-managed AI. We're moving into the future to where manufacturing and food stores, or even fast food and all the goods and the stuff like that, can be manufactured easily by AI and machinery. And there may be 1 or 2 people pushing some buttons because it's managed, right? Versus non-managed. There's probably going to be non-managed and managed AI facilities that are manufacturing all the goods and services that we need for our lives, for our daily lives. If we're moving towards that future, right, then really there's not going to be much for us to do aside from our hobbies or things we may enjoy or love, family, friends, travel. Maybe you want to go fucking kayaking or some shit like that, or you want to go into the Alps and go into the mountains or taste some wine or what have you. But essentially, the way things are heading, we're going to have all the stuff that we pretty much need to live off of. So there's not going to be much work or much for us to do other than, engage in artsy stuff or, whatever. I don't know, right?
Although they can be misinformed, lack information, or make bad decisions, their actions make sense to them in that moment and align with their own personal story. According to Housel, people do some crazy things with money, but no one is crazy. We all have unique worldviews, and since there is no universally correct way to manage money successfully, none of us are crazy. We make financial decisions based on our personal life experiences and our worldview. Financial decisions are often not made purely on logical or mathematical grounds, but are shaped by your unique experiences and worldview. Be wary of one-size-fits-all financial advice, as what may seem irrational to others could make perfect sense to you. Compound Kings. There is no doubt that Warren Buffett is considered one of the greatest investors of all time. What is staggering is that $81.5 billion of Warren Buffett's $84.5 billion net worth was earned after he reached his mid-60s. Housel explains that few pay enough attention to this simplest fact. Buffett's fortune isn't due to just being a good investor, but being a good investor since he was literally a child. As a result of investing from the early age of 10, Buffett was able to harness the power of compounding. So what is compounding in a nutshell? Let's say you invest $1,000 at an interest rate of 8%. Your initial investment would earn you $80 after 1 year. If you compounded your total of $1,080 at 8% interest the next year, you would now earn $86.4. You've earned money on your initial investment as well as the interest you earned on the principal. An investment compounded over time gains interest not only from the original investment, but also from the interest generated on top of the original investment. The counterintuitive nature of compounding makes many of us not realize how extreme the results can be. Warren Buffett began seriously investing at the age of 10 and had a net worth of $1 million by the age of 30. Let's imagine an alternate reality where Warren Buffett behaved more like most young men in their 20s and used a lot of his early income on traveling and a few nice cars. If he started with a net worth of $25,000 at the age of 30 and retired at 60, but continued to generate the amazing returns that he does of around 22% annually, his net worth today would be around $11.9 million, which is 99.9% less than his actual net worth today of $84.5 billion. Warren Buffett's financial success can be attributed to the financial base he built in his early years and his longevity in investing. His skill is investing, but his secret to success is time and the power of compounding. Consider this from another perspective. The richest investor of all time is Warren Buffett. However, in terms of average returns, he is not the greatest. Jim Simons, for instance, is a hedge fund manager who has compounded money at a staggering 66% annually since 1988, a much higher rate than Buffett. The net worth of Simons, however, is $21 billion, which is 75% less than Buffett's. How is this possible? According to Housel, the reason for this is that Simons wasn't able to find his stride in investing until he was 50 years old, effectively giving him less than half as many years to compound as Buffett. Housel estimates that if he had invested over a time frame as long as Buffett, his net worth today would be 63 quintillion, 900 quadrillion, 781 trillion, 780 billion, 748 million, $160,000. It's important not to underestimate the power of compounding. No matter how counterintuitive the results of compounding may seem, they should never be ignored. People often focus on short-term gains, overlooking the long-term impact of compounding. Understanding and leveraging the power of compounding is crucial for long-term financial success. It's not about making quick high returns, but about consistent long-term growth. Pessimism and money.
So in regards to long-term growth and compounding, right? There's instant gratification and then there's long-term gratification, to where you're investing into whether it's the S&P 500 or whatever it may be, and you're investing on a monthly basis, DCA. And dollar cost averaging is where you're investing consistently, whether it's $300 or $400 a month. Some people will even just start off with like $100 or $150 a month. It's going to yield better results every single year, at least 8 to 10%, if not more, depending on how widespread your investments are. You can yield upwards of 12% or more. However, that being said, if you're consistent on a monthly basis and you're using the DCA in terms of dollar cost averaging, and you're investing into that specific vehicle that is going to provide dividends for you on a monthly basis, and you're reinvesting that and it's compounding, and you just leave it in there, you don't touch it, and you keep averaging the same amount that you're investing every single month, which is your contribution towards that vehicle, it's going to compound every single year. And a lot of people don't want to do that. I was one of them. Investing even $400 or $500 is not really a whole lot of money, right? If you really wanted to and you became a minimalist and you were very frugal with your money, you budgeted everything, you wrote it all down, and you kept tracks, whether you're using QuickBooks or your own internal personal financing machine, to where you're tracking everything and you're balancing your checkbooks. You can literally put a lot of money aside every single month if you're penny pinching and you really want that shit to compound and you want to build wealth like you've never seen before. The problem is nobody wants to wait 20, 30 years. And at this point in time, even with inflation, the way things are heading and how fast money is moving in terms of wealth creation, building generational wealth, there's a lot of opportunities out there to where your money can compound even faster. And there's different types of hustles and revenue streams to where you can add to it even more. And you can shorten that time frame, how widespread your portfolio is. You can actually shorten that to about 15 or 10 if you want to cash out early in the hundreds of thousands. But nobody wants to wait that long, right? People want that instant gratification. What can I invest into now? I got 10,000. Let me just throw it into something and hope that I get something out of it. And there's nothing wrong with that if you've done your due diligence and your homework. Acting fast and moving quickly on opportunities is a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. With no risk, there's no reward. You have to take the risk. However, if you're letting your money compound and it's working for you rather than against you, then you're winning, right? Versus just putting money into a savings account and it's barely yielding less than 1% in some bank that only cares about redistributing your money so other people can get loans when you're suffering, and you're saving a few $100,000 over a course of however many years, and then you try to retire, or you do retire in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s now, and basically you have nothing to show for it because year over year inflation will always continue to grow and your dollar will decrease in terms of the value, and the bank isn't really giving you much interest on that. So that sucks. Right? But then there's people who can apply themselves, like day trading. Like, okay, well, if I don't want to sit and wait 20 years and invest and do dollar cost averaging and all that, I don't know, like if I'm going to be 60 at some point, right? So maybe I'll put some money away just for that, but maybe I'll actually learn and apply myself and learn how to day trade, learn how to invest properly, learn how to get those results that I want on a monthly basis so I can have a nice dividend that pays me out every single month. And there's ways to do that as well.
Optimism is a belief that the odds of a good outcome are in your favor over time, even if there are setbacks along the way. But when it comes to money, we all have a bias towards pessimism that we hold dear in our hearts. Looking back, however, things have generally improved over the years. So what is it about pessimism that we are inclined to embrace rather than optimism? The answer is because good things take time and don't happen overnight. Money is a subject that attracts pessimism for a variety of reasons. Let's start with the fact that money matters to all of us. When we hear about something bad happening in the economy, we're more likely to pay attention. For example, a 40% decline in the stock market over 6 months is likely to attract attention immediately and may even attract government intervention. However, the incremental nature of a 140% gain over 6 years can go largely unnoticed. Every year, 500,000 Americans are saved by the progress of medicine over the last 50 years. Slow progress, however, attracts less attention than quick, sudden losses, such as terrorism, plane crashes, and natural disasters. There are many overnight tragedies, but few overnight miracles. To be practical, we don't have to be pessimistic. Despite setbacks, we can hold on to the belief that over time, the odds of a positive outcome are in our favor. When watching the news highlighting a stock market crash, economic woes, or other money problems, try to remember that things tend to improve over time. Don't let the allure of pessimism cloud your judgment. A balanced reality-based optimism, viewed over a longer time horizon, is often more rational for long-term success and can reveal opportunities you would miss with a pessimistic outlook. 2 forgotten elements. In 1968, there were roughly 300 million high school-aged people in the world, and of those 300 million, 300 students attended a small school in Seattle called Lakeside. Lakeside happened to be the only high school in the world at the time that had a professor with the foresight to lease a computer, the Teletype Model 30. This was no ordinary computer. It was advanced for the time, and the type of computer that even graduate students didn't have access to. And for one lucky student at Lakeside, this would change everything. That student was Bill Gates. From 300 million down to 300. So in 1968, there was roughly a 1 in a million chance of being a high school student with access to a computer. Bill Gates and his schoolmate Paul Allen would go on to create Microsoft together. Even as a teenager, Gates showed exceptional intelligence, hard work, and a vision for computers unlike anyone else. But going to Lakeside also gave him a 1 in a million competitive advantage and head start. And Gates is not shy about this. In 2005, he said, "If there had been no Lakeside, there would have been no Microsoft." What is not often mentioned in the early Microsoft story was a third member of this gang of high school computer prodigies, Kent Evans. Just as intelligent, just as visionary, Kent could have very well been one of the founders of Microsoft alongside Gates and Allen. However, that would not happen. A mountaineering accident took Ken's life before he graduated high school. The odds of a high school student being killed in a mountaineering accident are around 1 in a million. Just as the extremely rare stroke of luck would propel Bill Gates and Paul Allen to great success, Kent Evans would experience an extremely rare event with an encounter with what Housel calls the close sibling of luck, risk. Luck and risk are like the winds and the waves that determine the course of a sailboat. The sailor can control the rudder and the sails, but ultimately the direction and speed of the boat are influenced by external factors that cannot be fully predicted or controlled. The pursuit of success is full of twists and turns, and the role luck and risk play in shaping our lives is an important perspective to keep in mind. Understanding that success is a complex combination of factors, including both talent and luck, can help us approach our own financial decisions with greater humility and perspective. Be cautious in attributing your own successes or failures solely to your own actions. Acknowledge the roles of luck and risk. When learning from others, try to emulate broad patterns you encounter as opposed to extreme individual examples that often involve a high degree of luck or risk. These extreme cases are not easily replicable.
In terms of the importance of financial independence over richness, it's valuable to have your freedom. You know what I mean? Even if I wasn't rich and let's say I had the freedom to travel all the time and I had access for whatever reason to unlimited travel all over the world and food unlimited, right? Clothes unlimited, shelter unlimited, transportation, all that unlimited, the basic needs, good hygiene unlimited, and money had nothing to do with it. I don't need to be rich. I don't need material wealth or any of that shit, right? I just like my freedom. And I don't know about you guys, but I would prefer not to be trapped, in a matrix or a system with tons of laws and regulations. I would like to move across the board freely because I'm a free spirit. That's just who I am. I would like to be free to where I can do what I want with whomever I want, how I want, as long as it's legal, ethical, moral, and I'm not hurting or harming anybody. I don't know what your background is or who's watching this video, but I think you deserve a life worth living with unlimited independence and financial freedom, to where you can someday say, oh, money isn't everything. Because you got it all, right? And then you finally realize, oh shit, it isn't. Right? That's from all the studies and everything. That's what I have learned from all of my research and all of the people that I have followed that have what I want. And the books that I have read, it all leads to freedom. Freedom. It's as simple as that. And I've spoken with people and they've said, oh, money isn't everything. And then oftentimes I would hit him with the Dan Pena line or some, financial guru quote and say, oh yeah, money isn't everything. That's because you don't know where to shop. Right? However, money is freedom to me. And that's what I was trying to explain to my friend and to many people throughout my life that didn't understand it. And they just wanted to party all the time or just do what they want to do, which is fine. They're on their own path. That's their life cycle. Do what you want. The devil's within, and God is within. And it really leads down to you. What choices are you making in your life? Are you holding yourself accountable? Every step you take is very important. And it's the little things that matter. The little things. And if you take each step and you master yourself and you're disciplined enough, whether you're investing or not investing, or you just want to exercise or lose weight, or whatever it may be in your life that you need to apply this method to, then I would highly recommend that you take a step back, you analyze everything, you see what's working and what's not working. Do I need these people in my life, whether it's friends that party all the time, or maybe they don't party all the time, but they're negative Nancy's, right? Or you got Karens in your life and they're just always complaining and talking shit about small shit that doesn't really matter, and they're trying to make a big deal out of it. Or you got people who don't want to get rich and don't want to be successful in life and just want to live a mediocre life, get settled down, have kids, and get married. And there's nothing wrong with that. It keeps the economy going. If that's not what you want in your life and they're trying to bring you down to their level and just get you to be basic, do you need to get rid of them too? Or maybe not get rid of them, but put them to the side and let them know, hey, I'm trying to accomplish something in my life, and take massive action. So really what I get out of the psychology of money is being able to really break it down to where you can have the discipline in your life to know that it's going to be okay in the future. Let it compound. Let it work for you rather than against you, right? For those short material gains that you're seeking, it's working against you. And if you want it to work for you in the long haul, in the long run, take a step back. Say, it's really nothing for me to put this little amount away every single month. Wait 5 years, see how much you've accumulated. And I guarantee you're going to be like, oh, might as well keep going. It's only been 5 years. And in this time that we find ourselves in, time moves like nothing. This year's already over, right? It's already 2025. You feel me? So time is moving so fast, it's crazy. And 5 years from now, it's going to feel like yesterday. And I promise you, when you have all that money stacked up and it's compounding and it's creating even more value for you, you're going to want to keep going. Or maybe you're going to want to take some out and invest it into something else. But really, the best investment into yourself would be to start your own business, create a LLC, provide value in terms of a service that you can provide. There's different types of entrepreneurial businesses that are out there that you can start, whether it's e-commerce or maybe you want to sell a certain product, or you want to start your own clothing line. There's many different options out there. Just don't get scammed, because there's a lot of scammers out there, so be careful. All right, guys? But that's it for today's video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave me a comment with your thoughts in regards to The Psychology of Money, which is a book, and the link is in the description. I really appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope you're doing well. I'm out.